First up, magkano yung pinakamalaking net gross na obtain?
For the entire company, the net in a month, 6 million.
If someone out there is watching this, what is one skill everyone should have to increase their chances of being successful?
Okay. If it's just one, I'd say, I think you're right. It's not for everyone. But I think it can be learned.
Very few people experience the millionaire status. For those who have not experienced it, how does it feel?
Hindi siya masaya. Hindi siya ganun kasaya. It also comes with problems. It also comes with obligations. It also comes with...
What is something about leadership that people think they know, but it's not true?
People think it's all glory. People think it's a highlight. People think you're going to be a boss, that you have your own time. It's not true, because when you become a leader, that's the time you become
A wise man once told me, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. If someone is going really fast, how will he know when it's time to go far? That it's time to pick your team?
You would know when you no longer have time for yourself. Kapag wala ka ng oras para sa sarili mo, napapabayaan mo ng sarili mo, then that's a very good indication that you need a team already. But that wise man that told you that information before also learned new things after he told you that. You know? If you want to go far, you pick your team. Go with your team. But you need to know when to stop. Not everyone will be there with you. Not everyone is willing to join you until you reach your destination. Good team is a lot better versus when you're doing it alone. But you have to be careful with the people that you're sharing your dreams and your vision with.
Why do I need to be careful of who I share my dreams with?
Because you can't be naive. Nats. A lot of people would want to know your weakness just because they are built like that. You would probably use your weakness just because they're built like that. And you hindi mo agad malalaman kung sino yung tao unless you spend time with them. So, that's the reality. So, sa mga new generations pa rin kinig, it is what it is. You have to guard your heart. You have to guard your dreams. So, there are many things, there are a few things that you don't share agad-agad. One is your dream. Second is your weakness. And then third is...
When this episode was still in the planning stage, you said one of the things you wanted to talk about was resilience. Why did you choose to talk about resilience?
People want to be better. People want to be on a different level. People want to rise. People want something bigger, better. But I rarely hear people talk about how to do that. And another reason is, sa panahon ngayon, napakaraming distraction and napakaraming reasons on why someone would break. Distractions that comes in a form of opportunities. Ultimately, it breaks you. We have to talk about it. Someone has to. or like what I told you, Max, when you asked me how ano yung vision natin, I talked about sometime in the future, someone will listen to us talk about how to get out of that situation.
What are actionable ways one can do to practice this?
So sige, ano, so if you're that someone, mahirap kasing puro theoretical ang bibigay natin sa kanila. First step is,
What would someone get from watching this episode?
there are many versions of me. And in all of those versions, I have a story to tell.
Rome. Who is Rome, and what would someone get from watching this episode?
Who is Rome? Medyo malalim. No? Rome is um, an explorer, a student of life. Um, Rome made a lot of mistakes. And if there's anything that I can share uh, in our audience or for the team, um, maybe it's what I have experienced in life. I'm 36 years old. Um, I hate boring and I hate to be stuck. I keep on moving. That's why I've experienced many things that other people won't experience in real life. Uh, I've learned in many ways, most of the time the hard way. And so I have a story to tell to a lot of people, maybe the young generation also. I'm happy to be here because not everyone knows who Rome is, what Rome experienced. Rome is a leader. Rome is an entrepreneur. Rome is kid by heart, at heart. Um, Rome is a son. Rome is a. There are many versions of me. And in all of those versions, I have a story to tell.
When this episode was still in the planning stage, we said one of the things we wanted to talk about was resilience. Sa dami-dami ng topic na pwedeng pag-usapan, sa lahat na maraming topic na parang entertaining sa younger generations, why did you choose to talk about resilience? See.
I chose that because it's timely for me. I just got off from a very challenging part of my life, which I had been many times before. That's one. Pero primarily, I wanted to talk about resilience. I think that's something na hindi, I don't usually hear about resilience in media, particularly mental resilience. That tells me that the audience that we're trying to reach are really aiming for something bigger, better. And that's common sa media ngayon. People want to be better. People want to be on a different level. People want to rise. People want something bigger, better. But I rarely hear people talk about how to do that. Yeah, a lot of people talk about skills, specifics, but I don't usually hear about mindsets on how to do that. And another reason is, sa panahon ngayon, napakaraming distraction and napakaraming reasons on why someone would break. Uh, it's everywhere. vices, distractions, even opportunities. Distractions that comes in a form of opportunities. Um, Ultimately, it breaks you. And no one or not a lot of people talk about that moment when you're broken. And how do you rise up from that? Um, how do you come out of it? Better, stronger? Some people don't. Some people come out of it damaged. So, medyo complicated yung topic na um, but if anything, we have to talk about it. Someone has to. Or like what I told you, Mavs, when you asked me, pawari vision natin, I talked about sometime in the future, someone will listen to us talk about how to get out of that situation. And I hope magawa natin yan. Again, sometime in the future, I hope this helps you out. Um, yeah.
For those like me who is not very familiar with what resilience is, what does it literally mean? And how will this help uh, people? In what situations will resilience help people?
In a literal term, uh, or if Tagalogin natin, resilience is pag matutumba ka, kaya mong bumangon. Mental resilience, in a literal term, that that's what it means. It's different from mental fortitude. No? Yung fortitude is hindi mo kaya maghiba. Parang that's the literal term. Before I got here, even for a week now, I've been asking people, what does it mean to them? What is with mental resilience ba? So I asked people from different walks of life, a student, a business owner, a corporate manager. It's funny because people have different interpretations of what mental resilience is. And I understood that it's different for every one of us. Um, for my lawyer friend, he said, mental resilience is being productive even while you are in your lowest moment. My entrepreneur friend, she talked about knowing the composition of the mind. She talked about uh, neuroplasticity, and that's a good thing. Maybe we can talk about it later. Um, but for me, um, medyo cheesy, but for me, mental resilience is having scars. Um, Going through all of the things you have to go through for you to level up, for you to rise up. Um, and then going through that process, the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows, and then going back to who you really are, your state of mind, your baseline, the happy, creative, and productive version of you. If you can do that, if you do that many times, your bounce back will be faster. Your the time that you spend is a moment that some people call it rock bottom, no, will be shorter and shorter. And then eventually, you would know na pinagdaanan ko na to eh, wala na to. If you compare your state of mind versus someone who's going through the same problem for the first time, or someone going through challenges in life for the first time, you'll be on a better mentally, you'd consider yourself more resilient mentally because you know you can get through it. So kaya that's why I said, for me, it's scars. Uh, because you know, you have battle scars. Parang ganun. medyo, medyo hindi siya medyo ano siya, surface explanation, pero for me that is how I define mental resilience.
You mentioned the term neuroplasticity. Ko ka Hindi ko ano ibig sabihin ng neuroplasticity? Hindi ko kasi alam. And, what benefit will I get from knowing what it is?
Ah, related kasi siya sa resilience or a resilient mind, no? I mentioned that just because, hindi to full-blown science, no, but uh, it's factual. A lot of people think that our mind are static. So, yung brain natin as is na, but that's not how it works. Our brain keeps on developing, adapting, creating uh, new signals, new connections. No, even if you look at it, um, hindi siya your brain 2 years ago is not the same as your brain now. So it keeps on adapting new connections. That's what neuro plasticity is. So I mentioned that kasi if you look at it that way, you I hope that gives you comfort that even if you lose your mind, even if it's already the lowest of the low, and some people lose their mind, no, nawawala sa hulog, um, become depressed, etc. You might have lost something in your mind, no? Some of the neurons baka nawala, na damage or whatever. Pero that's not the state, your real state of mind. Your brain will do its thing, will do its magic, will create new connections, new neurons, and it will come out of it a totally different brain. In perspective, you will go through it, you might lose your mind for some time, pero you will get out of it because your brain will decide to do that. And then hopefully when you get out of it, better, stronger, more resilient.
Is this something obviously, I think, at least I think, resilience is not something you can train for. In the event na hindi pa if someone out there is watching this, hindi pa sila nate-test, hindi pa nabibigay yung opportunity para matutunan yung resilience. What is one skill everyone should have to increase their chances of being successful?
Okay. If it's just one, I'd say skill to silence yourself. To be silent and to be okay with that. And to not expect anything right now. You have to be comfortable in your rock bottom. You have to be comfortable in the pain, in the learning. It'll come to you. The thing is, I think our generation and even the newer generations now, walang pasensya. 'Di ba? Parang kailangan maging successful ako this week. Kailangan, ma-solve ko 'tong problema ko this week. Kailangan wala na ako sa rock bottom ko today. And we lack that patience. If we just silence ourselves and let it be, mahirap 'yun, eh. Mahirap yung mga taong mahirap matatanda, yung mga lolo-lola natin. Alam nila 'yun, eh, pero tayo somehow, our generation, I don't know why, but somehow we lost that. So whenever I have problems, challenges in life, I usually talk to my tita. She's old. She's in her 70s. Um, Somehow she's not bothered. Kahit mabigat na yung problema ko. It feels like sometimes parang wala siyang pakialam. But I get it. She doesn't consider that challenge a challenge because she knows I'm young. She knows I'm still young. She knows I'll recover from it. She trusts me. Sometimes I lose that trust. That's why dating sa kanya, hayaan mo lang. That's usually the message tayo, hayaan mo lang. let it be. Silence yourself, be comfortable. You'll get the answer. Sometimes sooner, sometimes you'll take longer time, but you'll get it. It's impossible not to get the answer.
Uh, I'd like to draw wisdom specifically with uh, leadership, entrepreneurship, and let's throw in a little self growth. There. Um, First up, ano, magkano yung pinakamalaking net gross na na-obtain mo na?
Personally, because my first two companies is a corporations. So for the entire company, then the net in a month, 6 million. Um, that's that's my first company. The first company that I built. Um, I think that's highest. Yes.
What did you do with it?
Reinvested it sa company. Uh, um, like what I said kanina, Rome is an explorer. So I I don't believe that I believe in one saying na lahat ng buhay lumalago. So kapag hindi na yan lumalago, patay na yan. So I also walk that idea or had that idea while running my businesses. Um, I need to see growth. Medyo I became addicted to growth. One of my mistakes on my first company, I became addicted to growth. So all of that money usually I reinvested to the company. Well, may return naman, and I was happy with the results of my first company. So from from 3 employees to 180, 182 at the prime or the peak of that corporation. Um, different um, different different parts of the business grew as well. Nagkaroon ng mga um, we created the products, so we manufactured. So yeah, anyway, um, that's what I did most of the time. I never had the chance to take out of for my personal expense. So what I do is I just use or pinapasahod ko lang sa sarili ko most of the time. And then all of the earnings of the company I reinvest it most of the time.
Very few people, especially those who are born with nothing, no rich parents, no no privileges, um, experience the millionaire status. For those like us, who have not experienced it, um, how does it feel to be on a millionaire status, and what do they need to be prepared for in case ma-reach nila yung status na yun?
I came from a family, challenged family in terms of financially. I was encargador ako before, security guard, those things. No? So when I reached that level, if we may call it level, um, I was ecstatic. I was very happy. It only lasted for weeks. I think my first million, I was happy for a week, 2 weeks. My first car, I was happy for a month. I was happy whenever I travel. I was only happy when I was getting the experience. When I was experiencing what that achievement gave me. So, um, hindi siya masaya. Hindi siya gano'n kasaya. It also comes with problems. It also comes with uh, obligations. It also comes with So hindi siya masaya, no? Looking at it from the point of view of someone maybe who's trying to achieve that, then it's when they reach that goal, then we envision a masaya and all that. I only enjoyed really the experience of working hard to get there. That's what I enjoyed the most. Um, but getting to that goal, kaya sabi nila, it's the climb, sabi ni Miley Cyrus. But really, it is, yun yung mas nakaka-enjoy, working hard for it. Tapos pag nakuha mo na yung goal mo, maybe it's time to set another goal. Kasi if you get stagnant there, hindi siya masaya.
So this is it. If ever maging millionaire ako, this is it. Ito na yung masayang part, yung grind ko getting there.
Yes, yes. You should enjoy this. Everyone should enjoy it. You know, planning pa lang, na-enjoy mo na eh. Tapos, by the time that you're already achieving your milestones, masaya yun.
A wise man once told me, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Yes. Kilala mo siya?
Yes.
So, nung sinabi niya sa akin yun, you can bet on it. I did my best to go as fast as I could alone. Yun yung question. If someone is going really fast, how will he know when it's time to go far? When will he know that it's time to pick your team?
Okay. All right. To answer that question first, no, you would know when you no longer have time for yourself. Kapag wala ka ng oras para sa sarili mo, napapabayaan mo na yung sarili mo, then that's a very good indication that you need a team already. But malalaman mo rin siguro, or no, malalaman mo rin definitely if you planned your travel. Diba? If you plan your destination, if it's properly planned, it's in paper, you would also know based on your plan, kailan ka maghanap ng team members. Now, some people, they plan it, so umpisa pa lang, may team members na. Some people, they want to really experience the hardships, tapos saka sila maghahanap. But it's really up to you. I think the key information there is you have to plan it. Because if you don't plan it, then you're just throwing uh, ideas and efforts, hoping na may return sana. Malabo yon, mahirap yon. To add to that, that wise man that told you that information before also learned new things after he told you that. No? If you want to go far, you pick your team. Go with your team. But you need to know when to stop. Not everyone will be there with you. Not everyone is willing to join you until you reach your destination. If you're going the wrong way, you need to know when to stop. Sometimes, especially in a team, it's difficult to find the right people right away. So you have to let go of people and you have to learn how to let go of people. For some people, that's difficult, me included. I get too attached to people. So even if I know it's already wrong, I still continue. I still urge them, di po kayo, maganda yung future dito, maganda ang natin dito, ang vision natin. But people have their own. You can't control people. You can't control people. If they decide to step out of the train, you let them. And then you find people that are willing to go to your destination. So yeah, anyway, that's the new learning of the wise man who told you that before. I still prefer, I still know that a good team is a lot better versus when you're doing it alone. But you have to be careful with the people that you're sharing your dreams and your vision with.
Why do I need to be careful of who I share my dreams with?
Because we can't be naive, Mags. Not everyone. If you grew up in a household na punong-puno ng pagmamahal, then most likely you'll be naive to what the world really is. A lot of people would want to know your weakness just because they are built like that. You would probably use your weakness just because they're built like that. And you won't get, hindi mo agad malalaman kung sino yung tao unless you spend time with them. So, that's the reality. So, sa mga new generations mo nakikinig, it is what it is. You have to guard your heart. You have to guard your dreams. So, there are many things, there are a few things that you don't share agad-agad. One is your dream. Second is your weakness. And then third is the motive. Um, Especially if you really mean well to people. Pag alam nilang you mean well to them, sometimes you get abused. And that's how it works. That's why when you want to go far, you do it with others. But be careful. Be very careful with who you bring with you sa pupuntahan.
No, when to stop.
Yes, know when to
No,
start.
when to stop. True. You've been a leader. 180 heads. Ako nga, wala pa akong experience, so what might say that might not matter. I don't think I can handle 6, 7, 8 people. Mabilis kasi ako ma-frustrate kapag hindi na-achieve yung sinet ko na parang standards. Especially kung meron ng mga, sa palagay ko meron ng mga obvious na very specific things na gusto kong makita sa isang output pero hindi lumalabas. My question is, how do you pick your team? What what should someone look for kapag naghahanap na sila ng team members nila?
Okay. Number one, I think what you're talking about is perfectionism. We get frustrated most of the time because we tend to think na it's going to be perfect right away or maayos na agad-agad. That's why we hire people. That's why we look for team members kasi we want it to be better. And sometimes mas malala pa. Then that's when we get frustrated. Um, I think that's the key is patience. Because as a leader, you know that it's your job to make sure that they get their job right, their task right. So if the things are failing, maybe it's your fault. Next is if you would ask me ano yung how do we look for or what specifically are we looking for, it's the same thing for all organizations naman. I know. It's commitment and skills. No? So if you're looking for leaders, then kasi usually nagkakamali. Parang we're looking for leaders pero we're not looking for the skills or the skill sets of a leader when we are hiring or when we are inviting people. Ang kinukuha natin is yung technically marunong dun sa task or sa department or sa work na gagawin or i-handle na. But if you're looking for a leader, then that's a different story. You're looking for people who have the skill sets of a leader. If you're looking for rank and file employee maybe, then that's what you look for. Someone who has the skills for that specific task. But that's different if you're looking for a team member na kasama sa circle mo because most likely you'll be looking for a leader or leaders when you're dealing with, and then that's usually the reason why I would recommend when you're hiring your first hires, you look for people who has the potential to be leaders too. And then the other side is if they have commitments and accountabilities. Mabilis lang naman makita yan. You take it for what it is. If they show you that they don't have accountability, they don't show any commitment or they show commitment issues, then you take it. Don't lie for them.
Uh, how do you know when it's time to leave a team as a leader? Siguro, mga underlying questions dito, how do you tell them? How do you prepare the team that, oh, hi, guys, I'm leaving. So how do you know when it's time to leave a team?
You don't leave a team. You never leave your team. That's one of my biggest learning. I learned it the hard way. Can't leave your team unless you've reached your destination. You were the one who set that destination. Why would you leave them? Uh, you can probably, maybe the question is, how would you delegate that team to another person who's better than you in managing that team? But even when you do that, you still make sure that because you are the leader, you can't have other, if someone's better in leading, then by all means, maybe that's when you step out of the picture and become a follower. If someone is better in leading, you have to make sure your pride is on check, your ego is on check, because someone is really better in leading the team. Then you let go, but you become a follower. That's when you tell everyone, hey, someone's going to lead us now, and I'm all for it. But if you don't have that, most cases that doesn't happen. You don't leave your team.
What is your strongest trait as a leader? And um, how do people learn that trait?
My strongest trait as a leader. Uh, I can go through the technicals of traits of or skills of a leader, pero I can't find the actual label for this. Pero I see people for who they are. I I observe people and I see them. I take them for who they are, and I start working, building on them. Siguro that trait is really my intention. My intention really is if ever maghihiwalay kami ng taong 'to, my leader, my subordinate, or my partners, my business partners, sana okay sila. Sana they have grown more than when I met them. And most of the time or sometimes it doesn't happen. That hurts me. So I think my intention and my purpose is my greatest or my biggest uh my best trait. Um Kaya ka minsan nahihirapan akong iwanan yung isang tao kapag hindi na if it doesn't work, sometimes I find it difficult kasi I'm not yet satisfied with how they have progressed. Um, so yeah, and that's important I think, your intentions. Are you really just making or building that relationship for you to make money together? Well, nothing wrong with that, as long as the intentions are clear sa umpisa pa lang. Um, my friends think I have a messiah complex because I always look at what I can do for that person. Right? Small interactions, even if it's someone that don't directly report to me, if I get that interaction, a moment with them, I'll make sure I make the most out of it. That person needs to leave this room with with something that they can use.
I see. If that's the case, I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think it's something people will learn. I mean, you're based from what you said, your strongest trait, your strongest trait is as a leader is having a messiah complex. When you think of it, it's not something people can really develop. Di ba ba? I mean, why would you want to save everyone? Lalo na, di naman nila deserve. Ah, thank you.
Oh, sorry. Um, I think you're right. It's not for everyone. But I think it can be learned. It's just that it won't be learned by hindi niya matuturo ng tao sa'yo. But life will teach you how to care, how to have empathy with others, how to care about what you give them, what you impart with them. Sooner or later, life will teach you that. Uh, so it's not someone, you won't learn it from anyone, but life will teach you how to care. And sometimes people are forced to have that kind of mentality or mindset, especially if you're a parent. Now it's no longer you. It will be about someone else. You will care about their future. So it's something that every one of us will learn eventually.
What is something about leadership that people think they know, but it's not true?
Ah, people think it's all glory. People think it's a highlight. People think you're going to be a boss, that you have your own time. It's not true because when you become a leader, that's the time you become a servant. You're no longer, and you're never going to be a boss. If you're a leader, servant ka. You serve people. You serve your customers, you serve your employees, you serve your leaders. So, hindi siya kagaya ng ini-expect nyo, mo, siguro, or anyone who thinks it's glory. It's actually being a servant. Siguro i-add ko lang dun, no? You can also expect that you won't be recognized for all the efforts and everything that you would impart with them. And that's okay. That's fine. Because you're not leading for that purpose. Also, people will not see because you're leading, you're ahead. No? People don't see what's in front of them except you. You see what's happening, what's going to happen. So people will most likely see or not see your efforts. And that's okay because you're not leading for that purpose.
Believer ako ng law of equivalent exchange.
Yes.
If you want something, if you want to obtain something, you must give something of equal value or greater value. When you became a millionaire, what did you have to give up? Or ano yung mga pinagpalit mo para ma-achieve yung status na yun? All things considered na, it doesn't have to be very wise or
Well, maloko kong tao before I started to before I decided that have to fix my life, achieve my goals. So the things that I have to let go are the things that made me happy before. No, sleepless nights with barkada. Also have to let go of my friends. Um, because uh, it's no longer helping me, or it's no longer beneficial for me to stick around with those some of my circles. Uh, so I also had to let go of my old version, and that's a huge price for me to pay. My old version is too comfortable. Some people, if they see me now, yung mga kilala ko siguro before, may bata-bata pa ako, they'd think I'm a different person because I really had to let go of that version of me, where I would spend hours in wasteful media. Um, so I think the first sacrifice will be your old version. And then other the other payments of value would be friends, maybe. Sometimes you have to let go of your partner in life, romantic partner, because that's critical. Yung kung sino yung kasama mo sa buhay.
What is one thing that you consider to be the most valuable that you have right now? And ano yung pinagpalit mo dun?
My mind. My mind is the most valuable thing that I have right now. I told you this before we started the interview. I lost my mind many times. I was walking the streets of Bangkok 2 years ago, completely lost, parang baliw in the streets of another country. It happens, especially if your dream is magkasaparan. So I am very happy with what I have right now, which is my experiences, my learnings, my wisdom, if you may call it. But what I have to sacrifice to get there is a lot of things. Even my health, even people, connections that I lost, genuine friends I lost. But I had to go through it because I wasn't prepared before pa. And it's foolish for someone to say, I am ready. Because no one is ever ready. It's foolish for someone to say na, kaya ko na. Because you don't know. What you can do is to go through it and get the most out of it.
Ron, malapit na matapos yung episode na to. What question did you want me to ask? But I didn't ask. Kung meron man.
I hope you ask me what I can tell that person that we were talking about before I got here. That person who's listening to this conversation. What I can tell him so he can get through it or maybe help him get through it. So I'd say na lang dito. So if you're that someone, mahirap kasing puro theoretical ang bibigay natin sa kanila. So maybe few steps. Everyone gets to that point kasi where you're lost and you think that you cannot make it. That's your scars building up. So that's essential. You can definitely use that and you'll come out of it stronger. Pero pag nandun ka sa point na yon, you're looking for something, someone that can give you, uh, both sides. Anyway, I think, so if you're that person, silence, be comfortable, meet your time with yourself, with your mind. You to track your reality again. Go back to your roots. If it's God, go back to that. If it's your parents, go back to that. If it's your own friends, go back to that. You have to be safe first in silence. The silent. Second is move. Don't be static. What's the word? Kinesis.
Yung sa about silence kanina. In this age of instant gratification, rant culture, what are actionable ways one can do to practice this silence?
Control your environment. Your ultimate purpose is to silence your mind. Kasi when you're in this state, usually, kalaban mo, sarili mo. So, your negative thoughts will be there. And you can't afford other stimulus that will add up to your mental states. So, Control the environment. Be in a safe place. That's why I said you have to make sure you're safe. So be in a safe space, whether it's in your church, in your mom's place, roadhouse, your friends. Um, that you can control. And then stay there. Um, stop talking to people. Uh, Priorities the ones that you think can help you, but all you need at this point is just yourself. Then be silent. If all the time you need, he would know when it's about time to move already. So first step is silence. Second is, well, at least for me, and this work for me as well. Na, for someone who's been in this situation or and rock bottoms more too many times. So first is silence. Second is move. Malo ka. Uh, kumain. Naligo ka. Those little things. Okay pa ba hindi ako makain ng isang araw? That's already di ba? So move. Maglakad ka. Whatever it is, bumili ka ng vitamins for your mind, for your body. We can be stopped not doing something because that's where all the negative thoughts come up. The word is kinesis. It's what it means is you keep on moving. If you do that, you just keep on moving. Lakad lang na matuloy. You find your way actually. And then third, third, third point or tip is to plan. You know where you are at now because you've had that time. Be silent. Yun, na-crank up mo na yung mind and body mo because you've started moving. Now it's the time to plan. Where do you want to be after all of this? Planning is essential kasi you want to maximize this event na that you come out of it na much better. So planner. Then last is follow through with your plans. Do it. Execute. Execute. If you plan to travel, do it. If you plan to talk to people at this point in time, do it. If it's better if it's listed, kung nakasulat talaga, so you can maybe see what you are supposed to do. By this, after that already took time. That already took time. So I'm sure at this point, we're in a better place.
Ito yung question na tinatanong sa lahat ng guests. YouTube may not like me for it. People may not like me for it. Kasi lagi kong binibring up about, yes, everyone dies eventually. That said, how would people remember Rome years from now?
I'd like people to remember me, not as just one image. Like when we started, I said I'm a son, I'm a friend, I'm a leader, I'm an entrepreneur, and I am a lover. So it's like everyone have their own experience with me. I don't want them to see me as just the entrepreneur because I don't want my future kids maybe to think of their dad as an entrepreneur. But maybe the greatest get that in the world. So I'll do my hardest with every interaction that I have with everyone for it to be special and personalized. Uh, so that's how I want to be remembered. I want to be remembered based on the experiences that people have with me and what I have imparted. I imparted them.
Rome, thank you very much for your time. I think it shows naman. I'm a big fan of yours. And I'll continue to follow the path you've recommended as long as nakikita ko na may benefit ako doon. Uulitin ko lang, thank you sa time. I believe in my heart kasi na yung pinakamahal na commodity is time. So, thank you for your time. May tradition kami sa podcast na 'to kung saan yung bawat guest nag-iiwan sila ng message or question for the next guest, not knowing, who it's going to be. Yung previous guest namin si Brian, banker siya, may message siya for you. Tapos kung basahin 'to, lipat ka dun sa page mo, tapos iwan ka rin ng a little something for the next guest. Ito yung message for you.
Brian.
Thank you.